In this battle, Zhang Yi, along with the Baishue sect, emerged as the final victors. Zhang Yi quietly retrieved his sniper rifle, observing the fleeing remnants of the two major bases, then turned his gaze towards the Baishue sect, where everyone was overjoyed. For a moment, he felt moved as he fought alongside these people. This battle had caused significant damage to the three forces, but Zhang Yi was almost unscathed. However, Zhang Yi looked at them and thought to himself, these cults are truly terrifying. They will probably be a major threat in the future. The Baishue sect's fearless combat methods deeply frightened Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi thought deeply. The Baishue sect was a bunch of fanatics unafraid of death. If killing them meant sacrificing his team members, it was certainly not worth it. Moreover, the Baishue sect had many people. Unless all the mutants among them were killed, eliminating the ordinary followers would not have much significance as they could quickly replenish their ranks. After some consideration, Zhang Yi decided not to kill them. He put away his gun and went downstairs, looking towards the back of the mountain. Sure enough, Xingtian adhered to the agreement and did not attack Zhang Yi, merely staying on the sidelines. This made Zhang Yi respect Xingtian even more. This person was still very committed to his promises. Of course, this also related to Zhang Yi and his group's display of strength. Zhang Yi took out his phone and called Xingtian. You can come and take the remaining food. Xingtian quickly replied, we will come as soon as we handle some other matters. Zhang Yi frowned. Other matters? He vaguely guessed something but didn't care much. He stepped out of the hiding area. Uncle Vu, Su Chunlei, and Hua Hua were all covered in blood. Su Chunlei was panting from exhaustion. Fortunately, everyone had used Yang Xia's food, a special type of food to quickly restore energy. Otherwise, with such high intensity and prolonged combat, they wouldn't have been able to persevere. Zhang Yi walked over and patted each person on the shoulder. Well done, everyone. We've won. When he patted Leang Yu's shoulder, he felt it was as hard as steel. Zhang Yi comforted her, don't worry, the battle is over, and you have avenged your students. Leang Yu's cold and fierce eyes suddenly softened. She leaned against Zhang Yi, looking exhausted. Only then did Zhang Yi notice a deep wound on her neck, the blood having clotted but still appearing very serious. Zhang Yi's gaze lingered as he hurriedly supported her and quickly took her to the hiding place. As he carried her in his arms, he thought to himself, this crazy woman. Earlier, Leang Yu had charged alone into the enemy's battlefield, attracting attention with her fierce and bold actions, drawing a significant amount of firepower towards herself. That she survived could only be considered sheer luck. Zhang Yi brought Leang Yu to the medical room. Zhou Ke immediately prepared to treat her. Zhou Ke, who had not yet had the chance to celebrate the victory, was startled upon seeing Leang Yu's wound and exclaimed. She quickly prepared medical tools and medicines, starting to stop the bleeding and stitch the wound for Leang Yu. She told Leang Yu, hang in there. Zhang Yi continued post-battle work with the Baishue sect and Qingpu base. The Baishue sect had lost more than half of their forces, even the mutants had perished. But for them, this battle was completely worth it. The heavy sacrifice had bought the Baishue sect a long-term opportunity for growth, and they were more than willing to accept this trade-off. Zhang Yi remained vigilant around them. He walked over and spoke from a distance to Zhang Yixian. The battle is over. You can leave now. From now on, the Xishan area will belong to me. Without my permission, no one is allowed to approach this place. Zhang Yixian bowed respectfully to Zhang Yi. Thank you for your help in securing this victory. As agreed, no one from the Baishue sect will come near this area. Zhang Yixian told Zhang Yi, I hope that in the future, Baishue sect and you can live in harmony and mutual respect. Zhang Yi smiled with narrowed eyes. Ah, that's a given. After all, I am a supporter of peace. Watching them disappear into the distance, a flicker of wariness crossed Zhang Yi's eyes. In reality, the biggest winner this time was not them but the Baishue sect. Zhang Yi had proven his strength, making other organizations wary of encroaching on their territory. However, the Baishue sect had found a chance to survive and rest. With the sect's strong ability to recruit followers, they would quickly expand. Moreover, with the capabilities of the Baishue sect's leader, their number of mutants would also increase rapidly. Previously, their growth had been restrained by the major bases. But now, without that restraint, how much would they develop, and would they one day become a new enemy for Zhang Yi? All these questions remained unanswered but were very likely to occur. Zhang Yi sensed something that the major bases once had. He muttered to himself, maybe I have unleashed a monster. But now, I have no other choice. Currently, he could only collaborate with forces that aligned with his interests. As for the future, he would leave that to be dealt with later. After all, the expansion of the Baishue sect's power was only Zhang Yi's prediction. Zhang Yi quietly walked on the battlefield, collecting all useful supplies. The coalition had prepared well, and their weapons were of great value, which could compensate for Zhang Yi's losses this time. Moreover, quite a few mutants had died in this battle. Zhang Yi had seen up to 7 mutants fall. According to his principle of not wasting resources, he wanted to absorb all the special abilities of these people. However, when Zhang Yi found those mutants, he was surprised to discover that 3 of them had turned into soulless corpses. Zhang Yi found this situation very strange because during the battle, no one should have had the energy to do such things. What's happening? Were they absorbed by someone? But there was no other explanation at the moment. Such intense fighting should not have left anyone with the strength to devour these abilities. Zhang Yi decided not to investigate thoroughly for now and to take them back first. After cleaning up the battlefield, Zhang Yi turned back and spoke to his people with a smile, "Let's go back. It's time for us to have a good rest." Hua Hua jumped onto Zhang Yi, rubbing against his neck, quickly leaving a large bloodstain on him. During the battle, it had turned into a powerful beast, crushing many enemies. Zhang Yi fondly patted its head. "Look at you, making such a mess, covered in blood." Then Zhang Yi put his left arm around Uncle Vu and his right arm around Su Chunlei. The 3 of them walked shoulder to shoulder, laughing as they headed back to their hideout. "Let's go. Let's take a break for a while." On the distant snowy field, Xiao Honglian and Wei Dinghai led their battered soldiers as they struggled to flee. They faced many difficulties, starkly contrasting their prosperous times and their current defeat. In their miserable state, both groups combined had fewer than 100 people left, and even the strong mutants in their command team had lost 5 members. This battle had nearly destroyed the armed forces of both bases. Wei Dinghai had been slashed by Leang Yu, and the wound was severe. His anger and resentment only intensified his pain. Wei Dinghai furiously slammed his fist on the car, the loud bang echoing his inner rage. Baishue sect and Xingtian, those traitors. But anger changed nothing, a defeat was a defeat. They had lost because they underestimated their opponent. They thought Zhang Yi only had a small group and an insignificant hideout. However, when they actually faced him, they realized they had made a serious mistake. From the defensive firepower alone and the level of the mutants, Zhang Yi's team was in no way inferior to the former Xishan base. Moreover, they had the advantage of the terrain, much like defenders, and could fight effectively even when besieged. Xiao Honglian and Wei Dinghai sat together in one vehicle. In the emergency retreat, most of their combat vehicles had been destroyed, leaving only 4 operational ones. Hearing Wei Dinghai complain, Xiao Honglian felt her own anger rising. The Baishue sect's betrayal was something she could reluctantly accept, but why did the Qingpu base also help Zhang Yi? This was something she couldn't understand. If Xingtian's legion from the Qingpu base had joined the battle, the situation on the battlefield wouldn't have been so difficult. After all, that force specialized in large-scale warfare. "Xingtian, just how many benefits did Zhang Yi give you to make you betray us?" Xiao Honglian thought, growing angrier. She took out her satellite phone, intending to contact Xingtian to confront him. But Wei Dinghai suddenly stopped her. "Don't act rashly," Wei Dinghai said. Xiao Honglian looked at him, not understanding his intention. Wei Dinghai explained, "In truth, Xingtian and his group didn't attack us. They are just cowards who never truly engaged in the battle. So, I guess they took some benefits from Zhang Yi and then stood aside, not helping anyone." Wei Dinghai gritted his teeth and cursed, "They always act cautiously, never putting themselves in danger. If they can gain benefits without fighting, they will gladly do so." The major forces had once been friends, acquaintances, and rivals of Wei Dinghai, so he knew Xingtian's character very well. Xiao Honglian, still furious, said, "Then what about the agreement between us? Xingtian's betrayal caused us heavy losses. What are we supposed to do now?" Wei Dinghai sighed deeply. "Now, both our forces are severely weakened. Can we even seek revenge against Xingtian? We can only hope he doesn't attack us again." However, just as he finished speaking, they heard a loud noise. The sound of an approaching army. Wei Dinghai and Xiao Honglian's faces turned pale as they recognized the sound. It was Xingtian's legion. On the vast snowy field, Xingtian laughed heartily, riding a snow dog at a fast pace towards them. "Xiao Honglian, Wei Dinghai, where are you rushing off to?" he called out.